The danger of specializing kids, especially at this younger ages, is simply that you move in the same movement patterns and it's causing problems. You're actually detracting away from their athletic abilities. Youth sports is $1 billion industry, but there's one thing that I've actually never seen. I've never seen a 10-year-old get recruited to college. I've never seen a Division I scholarship be handed out to an 11-year-old for winning a year-round basketball championship. And I think we have to remember this because youth sports is continually blowing up, and what we're noticing is that kids are specializing in sport way earlier on, and not only that, but they're training for this single sport over and over and over again, 5, 6, 7 days a week. And trust me, I love extra work. I love where I tell my kids personally, if you're gonna practice 3 days a week and that's what you're gonna focus on, then you need to learn what it takes to be great at something. So if it takes 3 extra training days to be great at something, then so be it. We're gonna get extra work in. However, the danger of specializing kids, especially at this younger ages, is simply that you move in the same movement patterns and it's causing problems. You're actually detracting away from their athletic abilities as they get older. So their speed, running mechanics go down. We don't have as good of jump mechanics, even in a sport like basketball. Somebody who singularly focuses their kid in basketball, hamstrings get tight, hips get tight. They actually do not jump as high. So I have found that a lot of times we need to focus more on the vessel, the thing that's allowing us to perform, and not as much of the sport, especially earlier on. You should think of all athletic performance training in the younger ages as exactly that, athletic performance training. Meaning I want to develop the athlete first and foremost before I focus on the sport. So if I have a 13-year-old who comes in, again, I've been training a long time and I've had the ability, fortunately, to see this in real time, comes in, been only playing basketball, been only playing baseball, can only play lacrosse, and I see all these same movement deficiencies that are going on. And we will basically work to correct that, and then we work on developing an overall well-rounded athlete. Don't focus on the sport, and the performance in their sport drastically enhances. They don't do an additional speed, or they don't do additional skill work even, and they're still enhancing. What happens, they have better reaction, they have better movement performance in the sense of saying they can move more freely, they're quicker, they're faster, they jump higher, they're stronger. We're not building muscle in the traditional sense, but when you train a young kid, you're inherently turning the muscles on. You're creating smart muscle, and you're getting more nerve endings that hit the sacrometer, so you can actually use that muscle more. It's becoming more active at a subconscious level, and that's a really important trend to follow. So I think when I'm looking at it from a youth performance training and just youth training for the sport, it's really important that you think about allowing that athlete to do either other sports, so they're not so singularly focused, especially at 10, 11 years old. Allow them to do other sports in different seasons so they don't burn out, but also B, they're not gonna get hurt, and C, they actually become more athletic. We obviously here, I'm doing strength and conditioning and I'm doing athletic performance training, so I love the training side. We'll do speed mechanics, we'll do power work. We teach kids how to do Olympics at a young age. We'll do squats. We do a lot of unilateral training, so lunges and split squats and things like that. We're working on developing the overall body, and as that athlete becomes stronger, they all of a sudden enhance their sport abilities tenfold. So the flaws for me is specialization in sport where all they do is that sport, and then when they finish the practice, they go and they do extra work in that sport, and they're never seeing different patterns. They're not doing different strength work. And then it ends up basically as they get older, it hinders them. So if this is, again, for my kids, my kids know that if we're playing our sport, we also strength and conditioning, lifting, doing speed work, mechanic work. Those are all necessary things that you have to do in addition to playing the sport. So when you make that decision, hey, I'm going to play soccer, that's what I want to do. Well, we also know that these other things have to be coming in place in order for me to actually play the sport effectively. So youth training, although, again, it's a big industry now, sports and youth is huge. I mean, parents love when their 10-year-old is phenomenal and the best on the court, the best in the field. But again, I've never seen a 10-year-old get a Division I scholarship. You know why? Because it doesn't happen. And a lot of the times the best kids at 10 get burnt out, or they end up quitting and changing to another sport, and or they plateau because they've started so young, they lose the motivation, the hunger, and then they flatten out. So what should you do? Simply allow them to play other sports. Don't specialize them at 10 years old. Allow them other activities and or seek out strength and conditioning work in addition to the sport if they are going to do only one sport at a young age.